Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see the use of exception code in RF device. SAP EWM provide lot of exception codes, out of which I selected CHBD as a topic, and mostly CHBD we are using in inbound process during the time of put away. So as of now, the put away process means we are moving the stock from GR zone to the standard storage area in order to keep the stock in a rack or mezzanine. So during that period, when the warehouse operative go to the respective location to put the stock, if he finds the bin is damaged, that in that case they need to enter the exception code as CHBD. Then system will propose that there is an option that system can propose an empty bin, or you can manually type a empty bin next to it and you can keep the product there. So this will help at the time of put away itself. So in this video I'm going to show you the config for this CHBD exception code, and after that I'm going to use this CHBD exception code while confirming one put away activity in SAP screen. Let's go to the next slide. So these are the two config nodes for CHBD exception code. So this CHBD stands for change destination bin, and we can maintain this configuration by going to this EWM node, then the cross process setting and the exception codes, and under exception codes this node we need to maintain. Similarly, under the same exception code we have maintain business context for exception codes. These two things we need to maintain. So without delay, let me go to the SAP screen, and let me go to this SPRO config. So in order to maintain the config in SAP, we are going to SPRO node, and here under SAP reference IMG, we need to go to EWM, supply chain management EWM. Then under EWM, we need to go to cross process setting, and under cross process setting, we need to click on exception handling. Then we have these two nodes, define exception code, and we need to also maintain this business context for exception codes. So I will show this exception code first. So here you can see in the left side there are few nodes where we need to maintain this thing. In the right side you can able to see this input exception code column and warehouse column and the description of the exception code. So generally in sandbox you can able to find your standard warehouse, the dummy warehouse 0001. Either you can select and copy this exception code so that whatever it is maintained for 001 it will be copied to your warehouse, and else you can directly maintain also. So for my warehouse I have copied it from this 001, and here you can see this is my warehouse number 3001 and the exception code CHBD, which means change destination bin. And once we define here, once we create the warehouse exception code, we need to go to the define exception code, under which we need to maintain the business context and the steps. Yeah. So what is business context? So like I explained, the CSBD we are mostly used in case of put away process. And so there are different business context. Let me just expand this. So you can see there are a lot of business context, out of which our requirement is to set for this TPT, confirm warehouse task put away. So while confirming the put away warehouse task, we are going to use this. So I'll just select TPT. Whatever you are seeing is for TPT. Those are the targeted entries. And then what is steps? So if I go inside step, you can see step 1 indicates the next step HU warehouse task. So we can process the warehouse task in SAP GUI screen, also in RF screen. So this 01 represents the desktop HU warehouse task processing. So if the warehouse task is HU warehouse task, then we need to select this. If the warehouse task is a product warehouse task, then we need to select this. And so that we can use the CHBD in the desktop screen. Similarly, for RF device, we need to select this RF steps, and like I explained in the beginning, during the time of put away, we need to pick the product from the GR zone. So that is the source scanning. And when we go to the destination location to put the product in the final bin, so that process we called destination scanning. So you see, RF is providing two entries: RF HU warehouse task action and source data, and RF HU warehouse task action and target data. So source data, we are not applying the exception code, we are applying the exception code and target data, because we are changing the final destination bin, because the bin is damaged or bin is full. So we are using at this target data. So we need to select 04. And similarly, if the warehouse task is a product warehouse task, then we need to select the 06, which is RF product warehouse task action on target data. Yeah. So these two is here. Currently in my activity, my tasks are not HU task, they are product warehouse task. So for my configuration, 06 is mandatory. Others, if I don't maintain it, is fine. But to go with my test data, 06 is mandatory. Okay, so let me close this, and let me particularly select my entries here, and let me go to the next one. So here you can see, in the maintain process parameter, you can able to see my business context, my exception code, exception steps, and under this it is asking my process parameter, the internal process code. So here the internal process code we need to assign as CHBD. And if I go to the next step, which means delivery adjustment in case of difference. So this node comes into picture if we are reducing the quantity. So in that case, there may be a effect to change the delivery quantity. So there are few exception codes where we are reducing the quantity at the time of picking or put away, which will directly update the delivery. So in that case, we are going to update this. So in my upcoming videos, I am going to explain about this node, but particularly for this CHBD exception code, this node is not applicable. That's why it is empty. Perfect. So this is the first config we need to do. And if I go back, there is one more config: maintain business context for exception code. So whatever business context we add there under the exception code and warehouse number combination, we need to define it beforehand, those steps and the business context. So here you can see these are the business context, and if I go to the bottom of your screen, so for our case, the put away is mandatory, where the application structure, which is SAP standard. And if I go to assign operation to the business context, you can able to see my operations are assigned to it. So what are the operations are allowed for this business context? 1, 2, 3, 4. One is for desktop HU warehouse task, 2 is for product desktop HU warehouse task. Similarly, 6 and 4 is for target data. And let's say mine is 06 are a product warehouse ask action on target data. So mine is this, and if I click on assign internal process codes, where you can able to see what are the internal process codes that are assigned to it. Out of which CHBD is mandatory, and this escape FD is mandatory. So I'll explain what is the use of escape FD, and how it will be helpful. I'll explain it. Similarly, while entering this process code, there are this difference category and difference category, these two things we need to define. But here we are not, like I said, here we are not changing the quantity, or nor it is hitting any accounting part. That's why we are selecting no difference category. And sometimes we are changing the put away quantity, we are changing the picking quantity, we are changing the delivery quantity. So in that case, we need to select any one of this. But for CHPD and escape D, it is always no difference category. And if I go with CHBD and click on assign STM action, you can see this 04 is linked. And what is STM action? So 04 is nothing but status change at destination storage bin. Yeah. And if I go to assign internal exceptions, here you can see a list and escape d. So escape d I will explain, and list also I will explain what is it. Okay. So these are the things which we need to at least cover before we go for the exception code testing. And most of the cases these are standard one. This we are no need to change anything. But what we need to do is the define exception code, which is a mandatory area where we need to particularly assign the business context, the steps, and those internal process codes under those business context and steps. Yeah. So let me go to inbound delivery. For our demo, I have already created one inbound delivery. Let me show you that. Slash ovl 33n, and this is an inbound delivery I have already created. And if I show you, I have selected two material. Here you can see the item description as the test 1 material is a non-batch non-serialized product, where test 2 is a serialized product. And in my previous video I have already explained about this distribution status and all this thing. And if it is a serialized product, at the time of GR we need to enter the serial number, else at the time of delivery creation we can enter the serial number. So in this scenario I have manually entered the serial numbers at the time of delivery creations. And you can able to see one quantity for my serialized product, and this is the serial number we are going to receive. Okay, so what happens when you maintain a serial number in the S4 side? This information generally goes to EWM side, and it will also update the EWM side delivery. So EWM side delivery is nothing but a replica of this particular delivery, right? So right now we need to confirm the GR from EWM side, and we need to do the put away confirmation in RF device. So let me go back, go to the EWM side using the T code SCWM PRDI. Let me just copy this number also. And under logistical execution delivery, we need to enter this number and hit and execute. So you can see the same replica is just replica from the S4 side. And for line item 20, it is a serialized product. So by looking at this indicator C, we can identify this as a. So if I go to the item details of line item 20, if I double click on line item 20 and go to the bottom of your screen, and here we can see the serial number tab, and you can able to see my serial number, whatever I provided from the S4 side delivery, that got replicated to this EWM side. Yep. So assume your supplier just sent the stock and you received it in your warehouse. So the first thing we'll do is click on goods receipt. You can see once we click the GR, the status changed to completed, and this information should go to S4 side delivery, and it should post a material document in the S4 side, and it will also increase the stock of these two product to this respective quantities. Yeah. So now that we receive the stock within the warehouse, which is currently sitting in the GR zone, let me also show you. If I go down, you can see this is currently lying in this area, which I called a GR zone. And the next activity is the warehouse operative will pick the product and put it into the respective storage type and the storage bin. So to do that, we can create the task manually, or we can automate this activity so that system will automatically create a task and determine the destination storage bin based on the destination search strategy that we are configured in this EWM node. Okay, and I hope you know how to create this manual task by going to follow on function, clicking on warehouse task. You'll be able to see this delivery line items here, and by selecting those, if you click on create plus save, system will create the task. But in our case, the tasks are already created automatically, and to see the automatically warehouse task, we need to click on display warehouse task. Okay, so the task are nothing but shows where I need to put the product. And if I go to the form view for one of the material, I'll be able to see system proposed to transfer the stock to from this location, from this source bin to this bin 1, rk1 bin 1. And similarly for second task also, system is proposing to move the product from the excess returns or from this gr zone to this bin 4. Yeah, so let me just go to the rf screen and perform the put away activity. Like I explained, that when the tasks are created, those tasks are assigned to one warehouse order. By taking that warehouse order number, user can able to perform the put away activities, or they can use this document number, the EWM side document number, and they can confirm the put away activities. So currently I'm proceeding with this document number, and SAP provided a simulation screen for RF where we're going to perform this put away activities. So we need to go to SCWM RF UIT code. Here I already explained about this concept, the presentation device and the resource. And we need to go inside manual selection, and we need to go to selection by warehouse request. In EWM side, those document numbers are considered as warehouse request number, and we need to provide the warehouse request number, and we need to put it as a PDI because we are dealing with inbound process, and we need to hit enter. So asking to system is saying to scan the source data. So we just need warehouse operative needs to pick the product from this location by scanning the bin. S- The operative needs to scan the product barcode. Particularly, he needs to take two quantity. And here you can see the serial number level is blank, which it means it is a non-serialized product. And once I hit enter, system showed me this destination location. So you can see this is my destination bin as proposed by system, and warehouse operative needs to enter scan the product. He needs to go to this destination bin location, and he needs to put the product in this location. But let's say this bin is damaged, so in that case what he needs to do, he needs to use the exception code. So you can see below there is a field where we can able to use the exception code. So here user directly can put the exception code as chbd and hit enter, and he can manually enter any bin if he find that is empty or empty next to it, this next to this bin one, then he can enter it. Or we can uh, leave it to the system, so that system will propose a bin. By clicking on F1 propose, system will propose one bin. So the now alternative storage bin. So here we need to click on F1 propose, so that system will propose the bin, available bin to put this product. So your system is saying no alternative storage bin found. If we click on F1 propose, system will automatically propose the empty bin where we can put the product based on the put away strategy. And let me click on F1 propose because I'm not also aware like what bin is empty or where I can put the product. So you can see system proposed a bin where I can just put the product, and after that we just need to hit enter. And you can see initially this destination bin was bin 1. Now after the exception code input, it is coming as bin 8. Yeah. So there is one more thing. Let's say the barcode in the product is damaged. So in that case, how they will scan? Either they can enter into test one, they can manually enter as test one here, or they can use the exception code as escape D in order to proceed with that. So if you remember, escape D we assigned at the business context level as a internal process code. So that will help here. I will show the use of exception code escape D for the second line item, the serialized line item. Okay, and here we'll just warehouse operative will go to this bin location. He'll scan the barcode on the bin storage bin, and he just need to hit enter, so that he will put this particular product into that this new location suggested bin location. Similarly, there is one more product. So the user will again pick it from this location, and like I explained, if he is not having the barcode or the device is unable to read the barcode, then in that case he can use escape D exception code. But mostly if they use shift plus F1, then system will automatically um, skip this verification field. So that is the function key to use that exception code escape D. Okay, so here also for one quantity, if I click shift plus F1, you can see system is automatically filling, and now it is a serialized product. So that's why the serial number level is coming at C. But during that put away process, it is not mandatory to fill the serial number. So so warehouse operative pick this product from this source GR zone and hit enter. So system will propose where to put the product. Okay, so warehouse operative will go to this bin, and he may found that this bin is also damaged, and he need to put this product in some other bin. So again he needs to enter CHBD, and here I'll go for the propose option. Here my system proposed to put the product in this bin 2 location, and then I just need to hit enter, and I just need to fill this entries here, and this bin 2 I need to scan. So serial number, like I said, serial number is mandatory thing to enter at the time of GR, because the first time you are receiving the stock into warehouse, you need to validate what serial number you are receiving. So at that time you need to key in the serial number. Without serial number, system won't allow you to do that GR. But at the time of put away, it is not mandatory, but still if you go inside the serial number, and you can manually enter that serial number that available in this GR. Let me go back to the GR. What is it for the line item 2 X543? So physically you will be having this barcode as barcode of the serial number X543, and user can able to save scan this. And then once we provide this details, and physically warehouse operative will put this product in this location by scanning this, and the moment he hit enter, system will complete the put away activity. Okay, and the next step is we need to go back to the warehouse delivery, and we just need to check the status of this particular delivery, and also need to check the status of the warehouse task. I will just refresh this by re-executing. So you can see my put away status is completed. Okay, and if I show the warehouse task, initially if you remember there are only two entries. So it is a standard behavior of SAP. When you are confirming the task through RF gun, system usually create the source scanning warehouse task and destination scanning warehouse task with the same number. Similarly, 21, this one is for the source scanning, and this one is for the destination scanning. So for example, if you remember, we have entered the exception code at the destination scanning time, so that's why you can able to see the CSBD is coming. And similarly, for second product, the test 2, we have used the SKFD while picking the product from the GR zone. So that's why the exception code escape FD is coming here. And yeah, and if I scroll to the right side, you can able to see our source bin details are access written here, and the second entry where we applied the chbd, we can able to see my proposed bin details are coming, and who who was the resource. I was the resource, my user id is coming here. And if I go to the warehouse order, you can able to see it is confirmed by the processor is my user id, and you can able to see this 4 task. So using this warehouse order also, user can able to perform this put away activities, and they can also enter the exception code. The main target of this video is to show the use of exception code in RF gun. That's why we use the CHBD in RF device. But it is possible to use the CHBD exception code in this desktop GUI screen, and we can enter it here also. But let me know if you want that video. If you want to enter the chbd exception code in this sap GUI screen, I can create a video for that also. But if you want that, please let me know through the comment section. And that's all. We covered pretty much all about this chbd exception handling process. And thank you for watching the video.